Hi again everybody, Brian back here for touringplans.com, and this is the third in my 5-part series on planning your Disney World vacation. First 2 parts of the series were deciding when to go and deciding how long to go to Walt Disney World. Links to both of those can be found right below this in the description, so go ahead and watch those if you haven't yet. And if you're interested, this one will be all about choosing a Disney World hotel. And this one will be a little bit more specific to Disney World versus, say, Universal Orlando or Disneyland, both of which have far fewer hotels than Disney World does. The next video coming out will be tickets and then FastPass Plus. So choosing a hotel at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida is tricky because there are a lot of them. I don't even know how many exactly. It kind of depends how you want to break it down, but it's in the 20s somewhere. Let's say that. Within each resort, there are a myriad of room types. The best way, honestly, to figure that out is to look at the touringplans.com room finder for any resort you are interested in. Right under this video is a link to the main hotels page for touringplans.com. On each of those pages, we have tons of information, including how the dining works, how the transportation works, a map of the resort, and there's a link on each of those pages to the room finder for those, which is an interactive map that will show you the view from each room in every hotel in Walt Disney World. We'll actually even send a request to Disney for you once you have a reservation, so you can get a room hopefully close to where you are. Of course, room requests are only available to touringplans.com subscribers, but don't worry, it is very cheap, especially considering a Disney vacation, basically a steal at twice that. And if you want to pay us twice that, I mean, I wouldn't say no, but staying at a Disney hotel allows you direct access to the Disney transportation systems, be they monorail or boat or bus. And those will all take you directly to the Disney theme parks and back again at regular intervals. Disney also offers something called Disney Magical Express. If you are flying into Orlando International Airport, you can take the Magical Express bus directly from the airport to your hotel for no additional charge. Other things offered to Disney hotel guests, extra magic hours. This is a feature where on different days, different theme parks will have extra time only for Disney hotel resort guests. There is either 1 hour of extra time in the morning before the park opens or 2 hours at the end of the day after the park closes. And those rotate around a little bit park to park, day to day. So Disney World hotels have 4 basic categories. The first of which is Value Resort. Value Resort, as you would expect, are the cheapest of the resorts. Oftentimes rooms can be had there for under $200, which I know isn't necessarily what you were thinking of as cheap, but this is still Disney World, and there are room discounts available that can pull that price down even further. I'll talk a little bit more about room discounts in a minute. The theming at the Value Resorts tend to be a little more over the top, such as at Pop Century or the All-Star Resorts. Art of Animation, seen here, is a little bit more intricate in its theming, but Art of Animation is also a little bit more expensive. That is because 3/4 of the resort is suites. They are 2-room suites that are actually priced quite a bit higher. We're talking $400 or $500 a night. For me, it is even hard to consider Art of Animation one of the value resorts, even though Disney does technically consider it that way. If you are really looking for an economical hotel, Pop Century is our favorite one of those, but all are nice. The rooms are nice, the rooms are clean, all have pools. Every Disney resort has a pool. And in fact, all of the value resorts have at least 2 pools. Pop Century, in fact, has 3 pools. Now moving up 1 level, we get to moderate resorts. As you would expect, the price moves up a little bit here. Now we're talking more like $350 a night, which, yes, I know, moderate at $300 or $350. It's not going to get better from here. Things you add is a little bit nicer rooms. The goods used in them are a little bit nicer. The bedding is a little nicer. The room is a little bit bigger. These are some of the moderate rooms at Caribbean Beach, as well as the grounds at some of these resorts. As you can see, they are beautiful. Moderate resorts, one thing you should know that they tend to be larger. Port Orleans French Quarter is very manageable size. It is my personal favorite of the moderate resorts. But the other three, Caribbean Beach, Coronado Springs, and Port Orleans Riverside, are very large resorts, which means you can be a little further away from some of the amenities. Amenities that include pools. In the three non-Port Orleans French Quarter resorts, multiple pools. They have quiet pools in addition to one large feature pool. All the pools have water slides at moderates or above. For my kids, they love a good water slide, even though some of them are small. They don't care, they'll just do it over and over and over again. Most of the moderates also have a sit-down restaurant. Port Orleans French Quarter, again, is the one that doesn't. Next level up, we are talking deluxe resorts. These are the highest of the quote-unquote normal resorts. That will make a little more sense when we get to the last category. The deluxe resorts have a wide range of prices. On the lower end are Wilderness Lodge, seen here, and Animal Kingdom Lodge, the regular rooms, not the Savannah View rooms, which will start out at around $450. Going up from there, we get to hotels like the Beach and Yacht Club and Boardwalk, all near Epcot. Then we get up to the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian, the kind of flagship resorts of Walt Disney World that can easily get into the $700 or $800 per night range. Now, like the jump from value to moderate, what you get here is a little bit bigger rooms, a little bit nicer furnishings within those rooms, very pretty grounds, very well manicured, as seen here at the Polynesian Resort, at Wilderness Lodge. Of course, Animal Kingdom Lodge has that added advantage of a Savannah. You can get a Savannah View room that is more in line with the rest of the deluxe prices. Deluxe resorts tend to have very nice pools, and all of the deluxe resorts have very good quality table service or sit-down dining. In fact, some of the best restaurants in Disney World are at the deluxe hotels. The big advantage, however, with the deluxe is their location. That is why Wilderness Lodge and Animal Kingdom Lodge are a little bit cheaper than the others. The access to the theme parks isn't quite as direct from there. Animal Kingdom Lodge, you have to take a bus everywhere. Wilderness Lodge, you can take a boat to Magic Kingdom, but then it's a bus everywhere else. Where the other deluxe resorts are in better locations. The Contemporary, Polynesian, Grand Floridian are all on the monorail loop that go directly to the Magic Kingdom, and you can transfer to get to the monorail to Epcot. Beach Club, Yacht Club, Boardwalk are all right in between Epcot and Hollywood Studios. You can actually walk to either. You can walk very easily to Epcot and to take a little bit longer walk or a boat to Hollywood Studios. And that is the big advantage with the deluxe resorts. You can very, very easily get into at least one park from them. I should also mention here, right next to the Beach Club and the Yacht Club, that is where the Swan and Dolphin are located. Swan and Dolphin are technically considered deluxe resorts, even though they are not really operated by Disney, by Marriott International. They do still have bus service to the parks, but the Magical Express, the bus from the airport to the hotel and back again, not available for Swan and Dolphin, so keep that in mind. Now, the last category are the Disney Vacation Club villas. I'm not going to explain fully what Disney Vacation Club is because I'm not sure I understand it totally either. It's similar to a timeshare, if you've heard of that, except that you are not necessarily locked into one place at one certain time. It is a vacation club that Disney allows people to buy into. What is important to know about them is that there are Disney Vacation Club hotels all over Disney World that you can stay in, even if you are not a Disney Vacation Club member. Some of them are standalone resorts, like Saratoga Springs here, or Old Key West, the original Disney Vacation Club property, by the way. Some are add-ons to current deluxe hotels. In fact, most of the deluxe resorts have Disney Vacation Club sections or buildings to them. That is what Bay Lake Tower is, the big cylinder right next to the Contemporary. This is the Grand Floridian's Disney Vacation Club building right here. If they are available, you can book them just like regular rooms through the Disney site. You can also rent points off of members, either directly or the way I've done it in the past, using a site that sets that up for you. Now, the difference between a Disney Vacation Club or DVC and a regular deluxe hotel is not much. The amenities and everything tend to be pretty similar. Obviously, if you're staying at the Grand Floridian Villa, you are using all of the Grand Floridian's amenities. Most of them don't even have a separate pool for the DVC section. The differences come in the rooms. There aren't traditional hotel rooms in the DVC buildings. The closest thing they have are studios, but all the studios are one queen-size bed and one fold-out sofa bed. So it's perfect if there are only two people sharing a bed. If you have more than two people, the sofa beds aren't nearly as comfortable as a regular bed. That's a problem I run into if we stay at a DVC studio with our kids, is that the kids then have to sleep on the sofa bed. I mean, I don't care that much, but they do. There are also different levels of suites in DVCs. All DVCs have both 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom suites. So if you're looking for that extra space, you can get that. And many of the DVCs have a grand villa, which is a huge 3-bedroom suite. As you would expect, the prices have a large variance between the studio and the grand villas. Studios, in many cases, you can get for around the same price as a regular room at a deluxe hotel. In some cases, they're even cheaper than a regular room at a deluxe hotel, especially if you're renting points off of a member. But the 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms will increase in price quite a bit as you get there. The hotel matters too. The Grand Floridian villas are more expensive than the Copper Creek villas near Wilderness Lodge or Saratoga Springs or Old Key West. Again, Saratoga Springs and Old Key West, like the moderates, they're both very spread out and don't have direct access to a park. So you are taking the bus or driving yourself the whole time you're there. One other thing I should mention, even though it doesn't really get its own category, there is a campsite, Fort Wilderness Campgrounds and Cabins at Disney World. The campsites can be very, very cheap, but you have to supply either your own camper or your own tent, depending on which one you want to do there. And then there are cabins. Cabins seen here are fairly large cabins that sleep quite a few people, priced more like a moderate. I think technically they are a moderate resort, even though they're part of Fort Wilderness. The advantage here, of course, is a little bit more space, more freedom. Being in Fort Wilderness definitely is a little more peaceful than some other areas of the resort, but it is very hard to get around Fort Wilderness without a car. There is an internal bus system, but that requires you then to take one bus to get to the main bus station, to get a bus to the park. It can be a little bit much. But if you are the type that likes to camp anyway, that might be a good option. You can camp most of the year because it's pretty warm. I would suggest tents that are good in the rain, though. Okay, so finally, those are the types of hotels. Whew, told you there was a lot of them. So what are the deciding factors between the hotels? Well, like I said, price is going to be a big one. And like I mentioned in the last video talking about how long to stay, sometimes you can downgrade a little bit and stay extra nights. What you need to try to ask yourself is how much time you're going to be spending at the hotel. Many guests going to Disney World like to be in the parks. Hotel is mostly just a place to crash at night. Now, we recommend going to the parks early, taking a break in the middle of the day, and then going back to the parks in the evening just to recharge, stay out of the main part of the heat, especially over the summer. But not everybody likes to do that. And if you are the type that likes to go on vacation, well, maybe it's not really worth it to spend extra money on a deluxe hotel. Maybe you would be fine in a moderate or a value. And almost all deluxe hotel rooms or DVC rooms have balconies, some of them with very nice views, especially if you're at Animal Kingdom Lodge with those Savannah views. Whew. But again, if you're not going to be there, take advantage of it, it's probably not worth the extra money. Spending a little more time at the hotel is something my family has grown into as we've gotten to go more. We generally settle into moderate resorts. Like I said, my kids like the water slide. We like just the slight bit of extra space that we get in the room. A lot of it depends. If you are going to be spending more time at the hotel and if you are going to be using the pool, I mentioned the Beach and Yacht Club. Beach and Yacht Club have the nicest pool of any of the Disney hotels. Stormalong Bay. If you are taking this as a nice vacation, you're going to take a little bit of time off from the parks, go swimming, let the kids go swimming. Maybe that pool could help sway your choices. A lot of little things like that. The more time you want to spend at the hotel, the more I would recommend maybe trying to upgrade if it is within your budget. The last thing to consider is how much time you are spending in any particular park. If you want to see all the parks, any resort will do. It'll be closer to some, sometimes further away from some, sometimes, but it will be a trade-off no matter what you pick. Personally, I still find the Crescent Lake resorts, those are the ones kind of near Epcot, Beach Club, Yacht Club, Boardwalk, Swan Dolphin, as the most convenient because you can very quickly get to 2 of the parks. Let's say you're going with small children, you're only going for a few days, and you know out of the 4 days you're there, you want to spend 2.5 maybe in the Magic Kingdom. Well, now you might want to look into resorts that are a little closer to the Magic Kingdom. Of course, there's the Deluxe Resorts, the Contemporary, the Polynesian, Grand Floridian. Wilderness Lodge is very close. Fort Wilderness actually has its own boat to the Magic Kingdom if you are the camping type. Now, one last thing before we go, and this one is important, discounts on the room. Disney has basically rolling discounts for their rooms. There are some available to the general public, some available to Florida residents, some available to Disney annual pass holders, but there are discounts for just about every room type in every hotel that you could use. The caveat there is that they set aside a certain number of rooms for each discount. So if you wait too long, they may be gone. This is where it helps to be persistent or use an authorized Disney travel agent. The good news is, unless you want a very specific hotel at a very specific time and you have missed the discount, there isn't a reason you should be paying full price for any of the Disney hotels. Bad news there is you cannot combine it with another discount. If you buy a package from Disney, you cannot put a discount on it. But if you do all of those separately, the price would not be any different, but you can add the room-only discount. Like I said, if you are unsure about how to do that, the best way would be to contact an authorized Disney travel agent. And check some reviews. There are some very good ones that write for our blog. I don't really want to name any in particular and play favorites. And that is where I'm going to end this. I'm sorry I made this one very long, but hotels can be complicated. Speaking of complicated, I will see you next time for tickets. Thank you for watching. Be excellent to each other.